All right, let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? You're at a flea market, an antique shop, and you spot this gorgeous piece of silver. And then that little voice in your head whispers, is it real? Well, today, we're going to silence that voice and replace it with pure confidence. I'm going to give you the ultimate guide to becoming your own silver detective. So let's get right to it. I mean, this is the question, isn't it? It's the one that pops into the mind of every single treasure hunter or jewelry lover out there. You've got this amazing piece in your hands. It looks perfect, it feels substantial, but is it actually silver? You know, that one little bit of uncertainty. Well, that's the razor-thin line between scoring a priceless find and, well, a really disappointing fake. And believe me, the stakes here are way higher than you might think. It all boils down to what it's made of. See, real sterling silver, that's 92.5% pure silver, which means it has real, intrinsic value. But a silver-plated item, that's just a costume. It's a cheap base metal like copper or nickel wearing a very, very thin silver jacket. To put it simply, one is a potential family heirloom, and the other, honestly, it might not be worth much at all once that thin coating wears off. Okay, so where do we even begin this investigation? Well, our first line of defense is simply using our eyes. It's all about observation, training yourself to spot the clues the silver itself is giving you. And you'd be surprised. The biggest clues are usually hiding right there in plain sight. And that leads us right to the story the silver is telling about itself, through its stamps. These tiny little markings are your number one most important clue. Seriously. Think of them like the item's passport. And we're about to become expert border agents who know exactly how to read it. No joke, this is your superpower when you're out there hunting. Before you even think about doing any other test, just flip the item over. If you have a magnifying glass, great. But even without one, look for those stamps. It is, without a doubt, the fastest and most reliable first check you can possibly do. And the best part? These stamps are usually super straightforward. See in 925 or the word starling? Bam, that's sterling silver. Spot in 999? That means it's fine silver, which is almost completely pure. You might even see an 800. That's often what's called coin silver, and you'll see it a lot on older European pieces. Yeah, you can pretty much think of these numbers as your secret cheat codes. Now, you're also going to hear the word hallmark thrown around. So what's the difference? A hallmark is way more than just a purity stamp. It's an official seal of approval. Here's a little history nugget for you. The name actually comes from Goldsmiths' Hall in London, where they started officially testing silver way back in the 1300s. So think of a hallmark as a certified government-backed guarantee stamped right onto the metal. Okay, but what happens if there are no marks? Or what if they're so worn down you just can't read them? Don't panic. The investigation is far from over. It just means it's time to bust out our portable detective kit for a few super simple tests you can do right there on the spot. And the very first tool in our kit is probably something you've already got stuck to your fridge, a magnet. This is honestly one of the simplest, quickest, and I gotta say, most satisfying ways to spot a fake when you're out treasure hunting. So here's the deal. You're gonna wanna carry a small but strong magnet with you. I'm talking about one of those neodymium ones. Now, just hold it right up to the piece you're checking out. Real silver is not magnetic at all, so nothing should happen. But if that magnet grabs on, whoa, that's a huge red flag. It's basically screaming at you that this is just a plated piece. It's really that easy. All right, so let's say you found something. It looks promising, it passed the stamp check, or maybe there weren't any stamps, but it definitely passed the magnet test. You bring it home, now it's time for phase 2, running a few deeper checks just to be absolutely sure about what you've got. Now, this next test is gonna sound a little weird, I'll admit it, but trust me, it's pure science, and it's super cool. It's called the ice test. And it works because of one of silver's most amazing properties. It has ridiculously high thermal conductivity. It's so easy to do. Just grab 2 ice cubes, put one directly on your silver item, and put the other one on a normal room temperature surface next to it, like a kitchen counter or a plate. Now just watch. What you're about to see is wild. The ice on the silver will start melting instantly, and I mean dramatically faster than the other one. Why? Because silver is basically a heat superhighway. It's pulling the warmth from the air all around it and channeling it directly into that ice cube. It's like magic, but it's just physics. So, let's recap. We've looked for stamps, we've played with magnets, we've even melted ice cubes on our potential finds. Every single one of these tests is another piece of evidence. You've now got a really powerful toolkit to build your case, and that brings us to the most important part, the final verdict. It's time to make the call.
and to do it with confidence.
All right, if you remember nothing else, remember these 3 things. Rule number 1, always check for stamps first. That's the silver telling you its own story. Rule number 2, carry a small, strong magnet. It is your absolute best friend in the field. And rule number 3, trust your toolkit. If the signs are pointing to no, believe them. Sometimes the smartest move is just to walk away.
But this leads us to what is maybe the most important rule of all. Look, these tests are fantastic, but they aren't 100% foolproof. If you're looking at a piece that could be really valuable, or if your tests are just giving you mixed signals and you're feeling confused, the absolute smartest thing you can do is take it to a professional, a certified appraiser or a trusted jeweler. They can give you the final, definitive answer. No question.
So, there you have it. You are officially equipped. You now have the knowledge to look at a piece of silver not with doubt, but with the sharp eye of a real detective. You literally have the tools to tell the treasure from the trash. So, the only question left is, what incredible treasure are you going to uncover on your next adventure?